Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
Myself, Asha, Judi, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology. So, I am hereby to deliver a presentation about modular blockchain design. So, nowadays, the blockchain technology is a blooming technology which will be useful in the fields like healthcare, supply chain management, etc. So, my topic is about the modular blockchain design. So, when it comes to what is the purpose of this modular blockchain design? In general, we are categorizing the blockchain technology networks into different types like public network, private network, consortium network, and federated network. But as the structure of the blockchain, we are dividing it into two different things: monolithic and modular blockchain design. My topic is modular blockchain design. So this design is this approach is particularly for improving the flexibility, interoperability from the existing system called monolithic structure. So the next thing, characteristics and benefits of modular blockchain. So the first one is interoperability. The system can be interoperable with advanced features, and then the separation of functions. In monolithic structure, they have a disadvantage like all the layers will be in a single layer. As the name suggests, monolithic, layer is present for all the components. But here in this modular design, we have all the layers in a different modules, so that we can have the separation of functions there, and the interchangeable components also done. The layers can be interchanged as per the user convenience, and then the flexibility is increased, scalability also increased. When the n number of different nodes are getting added into the network, the scalability also increased, and the security also improved when compared to the monolithic. So this is the structure of it. Monolithic chain, all the things will be in a single layer, and here in modular blockchain we have the execution layer, settlement layer, consensus, and also the smart contracts, everything in a different layers. So the first component under the modular design is execution layer. Execution layer will be responsible for transacting the user transactions, and also it will be executing the smart contracts. Once the transaction has been done by the user, this will be deployed with the help of smart contracts, and it will be managing the state of the blockchain also. So the user will interact with the execution layer when they send the transactions or when they deploy the smart contracts in the network, and the results are bundled and sent to the next layer, which is nothing but the settlement layer. The next thing is the settlement layer, which will verify and finalize the results from the which are getting from the existing layer, that is the execution layer. So the disputes are resolved through the mechanisms like validity proofs. This validation can be done with the help of the cryptographic proofs, and the finality or the final results will be transactions are confirmed here. They are considered irreversible. It cannot be reverted back, and it receives the transactions and summaries as a proof from the execution layer and updates the main blockchain state accordingly. So the third layer is the consensus layer. We all know the consensus is nothing but meeting mutual agreements, right? The consensus layer will ensures that all the participants must agree on the presence of each and every nodes in the networks, and this will ordering the transactions, reaching the agreements on the blockchain states, as well as it will prevent the double spending problem also. So it utilizes the algorithm like POW, that is proof of work, proof of stake, everything, and nodes in this layer validate the proposed nodes and agree on their inclusion. It provides the foundation for network security and also the reliability. The next layer, which is nothing but the data availability layer. So after validation, the transaction details is getting confirmed, and it will be confirmed that it will available to all the nodes which are requesting. So the data availability layer ensures that all the data required to verify the transactions and updates the blockchain state, which is accessible to the network participants. So this is the extensive diagram for the modular blockchain, where we have all the layers in a separate mode: execution, settlement, consensus, and data availability. So here we are introducing, as we are telling, like the scalability is increased and the flexibility also increased in the modular blockchain. Only because of this roll-up concept. A roll-up is nothing but the approach which is used in the modular blockchain to increase the scalability. Thereby, we are bundling all the multiple transactions into a single batch, and we are sending the single batch as a block into the base layer. So this is your base layer, which is a modular blockchain. For example, Ethereum blockchain we can have, that is your base layer, and we have the before layers. Here in rollup concept, we have the data availability and consensus, settlement, everything in a single layer, that is your layer 1, and the rollup concept will be done in the execution layer. So rollup will act as an execution layer here to improve the scalability. And the second one is the Validium one, which is a variant of the rollup. There also all the transactions or multiple transactions are bundled up into a single batch. Here the one difference between this Validium and rollup is, here the data availability is done in the off-chain mode, but here everything done in the online mode. Validium will stores all the data in a off-chain transactions, and here in the blockchain layer 1, settlement and consensus layer responsible, execution layer responsible for this rollup. And this sovereign rollup also another variant of rollup, where we have the consensus and data availability in the layer 1, and the rollup will place in the execution and settlement, both the layers. So this is what the rollups, it will bundling up all the multiple transactions, single transactions into a single batch and send the results to the base layer. And rollups can also act as the execution layer, well, depending on the base layer for another functions also. And here it is the multiple transactions demo. This multiple transactions will bundle up into a single batch as a block. This block will be sent for the validation proof. After validation, if it is okay, then it will send to the existing layer 1 blocks. So this is the another variant, Validium and the sovereign rollups, as I said earlier. So this is the difference between the existing monolithic and the modular blockchain. First category is scalability. This will provide, monolithic provide low scalability when it compares to the modular blockchain. And system complexity, this monolithic will have less complexity, but here in modular blockchain we have more complexity because we are including this Validium rollup, all the approaches. The next category is adaptability and flexibility. Here this monolithic will be less adaptable, and here the modular blockchain will provide good adaptability, and the flexibility also will be good. Here, last one is the execution environment. This will have a shared execution environment, and here it will have the control over the applications through the sovereignty process. Thank you so much.